Hello everybody, let's get started here. So I was gifted a deck for my birthday, well, a quarter of a deck by Leonard. So we're doing the Rose Dragons, or pretty much the Rose deck I like to call it. Well, this is since to Yusei Fudo, thank you for everything, Akiza. If you don't get the reference, then look up Wesley Snipes and John Leguizamo, and I forget the last actor's name. Movie they did too long food. Thank you for everything, Julian Newmar. Let's see the final scene. So pretty much recently there's been more support for this card, especially with the fact that we actually have, I think it was called the Blood Moon Rose Dragon. I don't know if I said that name right. But it was
the Blood Rose or the Blue Rose?
I think it's no Blue Rose. There's a Blue Rose Dragon.
Oh, the Blue
new
Rose Dragon. Oh, the new synchro one. Okay,
it's the Blood Moon Rose Dragon. So trying to find a balance between plants and this is kind of tricky. Like someone once said, no two decks are alike. And that is true when it comes to this one right here. You will literally find 100 opinions on this alone. So you kind of need this as your main kicker, 3 of each. I don't have a lot of time to go into detail, so let's go into basics. So if this one's sent to secret materials, you do get the kickoff effect of adding a card from your deck to your hand. I believe it was a specific ones, Blooming Rose and other stuff. This one right here is a non-tuner. So when this card is normal summon, you can special summon any rolls from your hand or graveyard. So they kind of kicked off each other to get this one, So it's pretty useful. So 3 and 3, I highly recommend. So no matter what. Now here's where it gets more unique than anything else. You do need 3 of these bad boys. Throughout my years in Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, I feel like a sneeze coming on. It's the pollen from the cards. Oh my god. I highly recommend, no matter what, these 3 cards. In all Yu-Gi-Oh! They have gone down from 1, 2, and 3. What they do, you tribute them when it's on the field to get a plant monster from your deck to the field. So pretty much one heck of a card. Okay. One of these, pretty much, it's just a beat stick and it's useful when it's in the graveyard. You can special summon it back, and there's a lot of cards. Well, you can send a plant from your hand or your field to the graveyard. The rest of this deck does have cards that if something leaves from the field to the graveyard, it does kick off. So that does help a little. But he's mostly a beat stick for me. Copy plan. People say 3 or 2. This deck is very heavy tuner. So I would just say 2, What he does, he copies another plant on the field's level. Useful as that. Now here's what some people do, some people don't. Especially with the new stuff coming out with the new set this week, Ghost of the Past. I might switch it out depending if there's any good ones I like. So, Predaplant, Orpheus, Scorpio, and I'll just say Cobra. I can't say that whole long name, So, with this card, it's no more special summon. You can send 1 monster from your hand to the graveyard, special summon 1 Predaplant from your deck, except this one. Only once per turn you can do this. So, some people say 3. I like to go 2 to 1. The reason why, when this card is special summoned by the effect of a Predaplant, you can add 1 Polymerization or Spell card or Fusion card in your from your deck to your hand. The fact this is only once per duel right here, I would say 2 to 1. And who knows, I might do an update of this deck if we're able to get a hold of some of the new cards. We're average people here, so we don't have a lot of money just to whoosh on cards, Okay, Rose Lover, you gotta have it here. You can banish this card from the graveyard, specifically 1 plant from your hand, and if you do, it's unaffected by opponent's trap effects. Once per turn. So, like I said, Predaplant, you can use that. You can also use the Carrot Top, I'll just say Carrot Top for now, to do that, You get this in the graveyard by those 2 card effect, boom, you got it, I probably just do 2 right now because the deck's pretty thick right now. I need to try to shrink it down a bit more. Dark Rose Fairy, a tuner special summon. So don't forget, the white and red rose are a combo. So when one is normal summon, the other one special summons. White special summons get special summon another rose, so you could get, the tuner fairy. So you go that, and this, you can get a higher level monster from a 3, 4, 3, 7, So it's tuner special summon, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is in the graveyard, you can send 1 card from your hand or the field to the graveyard. Place this card on the top or bottom of your deck. Once per turn effect. Do not forget, that's usually standard. I tried to run this deck back in the Evil Swarm. I don't know if they still have current meta. I cannot say. Probably not. If your opponent controls more monsters than you can special summon this card from your hand. Useful for tuner and single fodder. Evil Swarm Managora. Rose Girl! A lot of roses in this deck. So, face that plant monster you control is sent to the graveyard. Except during damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. If plant mounts is on the field, and this card is in your graveyard, you can add this card to your hand. Once per turn effect. So, useful since there's are a lot of cards that you could just, send from, get cost, send. So, probably 3 to 2 for, probably just, let's say 3 to 2. Okay, and the last but not least, just for this part, 1 Spore and 2 Titania's Princess of Camellias. Spore is a good card to use no matter what, this is in the graveyard. You move 1 plant to special summon this card. Basic effect. And Titania, you use Lone Fire Blossoms if you want to bring her out. Beat stick wise is good, high level as it is. And, if a target as effect is activated on the field, quick effect, contribute 1 face of plant monster, and negate the effect. So that's really useful right there. Spells and traps for this deck are going to be really iffy. I wasn't able to get a hold of two frozen plants. So, 1 Rose Bell of Revitalization. Add 1 plant monster for 2400 or more attack in your deck to your hand. Then you can banish this card. Special summon 1 plant monster with 2500 more from your hand. You can only use the effect once per turn, and only once that. Yeah. So I would just say 1 because not that many 2400s in this deck besides Titania, but the other effect is useful to bring her out. Mark of the Rose. Oh wait, I guess I had 2 in here. My bad. I don't know why I put 2 in there.
The other is considered Gigaton, but that's a 24 attacker as well.
Yeah, but then it's a Gemini.
Geminis are slow, but yeah, that's the only other plant that would be 24.
Mark of the Rose. By banishing 1 plant from your graveyard, you target 1 opponent controls, equip it to you and to control. Some penalty effects on there, but this is good for break control, just for jacking and doing that. Reasoning. This deck is literally up and down in the levels, so unless your opponent knows all the cards, they're screwed. Foolish Burial, come on. Rose Girl, all that stuff. You should put that in there. I would recommend. I need to get a hold of Hobby Feathers, but MST is standard. Same with enemy control. Enemy control is useful either way. You switch opponent monsters defense mode or jack them by attributing one of your monsters. Useful against all monsters except those who can't be targeted, or Lynx, unfortunately. But Lynx, you can still jack them, unless they're protected. Like Geki, Monster Reborn, Frozen Rose, and Black Garden. Frozen Rose is useful because this one, you send 1 face of monster control, apply this effect. Plant. During the end phase of this turn, draw 2 cards. Discard 1 card. Non-plant, add 1 level 4 lower plant monster from your deck to your hand. I would say if you want to do this right here first, to jack your monster, just send your monster, jack your opponent's monster, and then use his, it would wreck him. Really wreck him. Yeah. And then Black Garden. One of these, because this also affects you. The monster is no more summon special summon face up except by the effect of Black Garden, half the attack, and which is permanent as long as the field. Then the controller of that monster special summon 1 Rose token to the opponent's side of the field. So in a sense, it's useful if your opponent is summoning heavily, and there's so many monsters to you. But other than that, it can also give your opponent's monsters as well, So it also has the effect of, you can remove from play monsters with attack, and doing so you can summon, I believe it was, hold on. I think it was the Black Rose. There you go. Yeah, so pretty much you could, if you tribute 3 Rose tokens, and you get a Black Rose dragon that was in the graveyard. So that was basic beatdown. Solemn Warnings, basic, I did not organize this ahead of time. To Crackdown, because this is a heavily synchroning tuning deck I ever made, which is rare for me to do, and that helps Jack. Oh, we get 3 actually. Sorry about that. I like to control my field, so Phoenix Chain. So a little disorganized there. Sorry about that. Another Phoenix Chain. I mean, this deck is still prototyping, so who knows? By Saturday or then by Monday, I should be able to, hopefully, if we get more of those plant balances, be able to fine-tune this deck and show you a different example, you know? So Treachery Tribute, Mirror Forest, Called Haunted, and Compulsory. And then Blooming Rose of the Darkest. Blooming of the Darkest Rose. Special Summon Rose Tokens in defense mode to either field up to the combined number of cards in the field zones and field spells in the graveyard. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target 1 Black Rose Dragon Platinum monster in your graveyard, banish it, and if you do, place this card at the bottom of the deck. So it's useful to bring out tokens as well if you have a field. Today I've been noticing a little bit more field spells now and then, since it's no longer the old effect. If you remember, Aaron, I play a field spell to destroy my opponent's field spell, you know?
That was a stupid...
It made sense when there was one field, you know?
Now it's like it's whatever.
Yeah, so we do have the here, hold on.
You're good.
My synchros and tuners.
You're good.
So I have another one in my main synchro decks. So I would say 2 Black Rose Dragons, another one I have. Splendid Rose, one of those. I'm gonna run 2 of these for right now. Cross Rose Dragon. I say Crossfire. Very useful. Geonator Transverser. Leonard put this into my birthday present too as well, so I'm gonna run it for now. Shoot, I guess I only own 1 of these right here.
The Black Rose Moonlight Dragon.
I could have only got 2. Yeah, Black Rose. I would say 2 right now, but I only got 1. Stupid
Black
thing.
Rose is considered the best one, but Moonlight Dragon's not that bad.
Trishula, Dragon the Ice Bear, because not only I've figured out some combos where you can go from 7, but then you have that one monster when the tuner special summon, you can summon it. It's also level 2, so 7, 9, so like 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 as well. So Trishula, you could do pretty much.
Just remember, Drusilla, you need to use all 3 effects.
I know. Garden Rose Maiden. 2 of those, beautiful as she is, like that right there. Pretty much she adds a black garden. So I don't know, you may add 1 or 2. And this bad boy, Cryson Halaki, whatever, Halifax. Even Aaron's looking at it like, what?
It's a Christ on Halaquite. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, sorry to say this, but a lot of cards, it's just like too hard to...
I could usually, you admit, I could say the names pretty damn well, but today I cannot say this. But usually it's the names that are like Germanish or Norse, I can nail down perfectly, you know?
Yeah.
Well, let's leave the camera on there for a quick second so you could pause, so that way you can look at this. And, you know, you also Wikia. But, like I said, there's still prototype phases. Who knows, by Monday I might have more if Leonard's able to get a good pack. And if he wants to, hopefully he'll want to do a unboxing. I mean, he did last time. So, hopefully we'll see you next time. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.
Alright, there you have it. Speak to y'all later. Yes, peace.